Warm greetings to everyone from Gachibowli, Hyderabad. It's a great honor to speak to you all about resilience as experienced by an educational institution. I thank the organizers for inviting me. IIIT is an educational institution focused on information technology and its application to several domains. The institute was catalyzed by the state government in 1998 as a research focused university, but it is a totally autonomous institution in academics, finances, governance, etc., and a deemed university. We tell our students that the institute's objective is to prepare them for the last job in their careers, not the first one. Preparing them for the first job is just too easy. What lasts till the last job? Knowledge of fundamentals, an ability to learn, and a positive attitude towards the subject, the society, and your role in it. The academic environment is quite intense on our campus. So is the cultural and social ambience. Bright girls and boys make it a happy and productive place. The spring 2020 semester was proceeding smoothly. The cultural festival Felicity 2020 was the best ever. Graduating students were getting nostalgic. And then the coronavirus struck. On March 14th, we took the decision to ask the students to leave the campus for their homes. Travel was safe then. We had to pull the chain of the academic locomotive abruptly. We announced that online classes will start from March 23rd after the students settle back home. We used that week to evaluate and select the tools for online teaching. An industrious team of IT support people and faculty identified a tool that also provided video recordings of the classes for later viewing. We organized training sessions for the faculty, acquired a few new devices, and got ready in that week. The faculty was also told to think differently about classes, provide more learning materials for students, and be more responsive. Online classes started on March 23rd. We kept a close watch on them. Classes went smoothly with attendance and attention on par with in campus classes. The teachers and the taught learned the necessary tricks quickly. But online education is much more than completing the syllabus of each course. Each student must receive a grade for each course and move on to the next semester. Grades are based on a series of evaluations that include assignments, projects, quizzes, and of course examinations. How do we bring the semester to a proper close? One way is to complete the classes online and conduct evaluations and exams after the students return. But it was clear to us that the students weren't coming back very soon. If we wait for them to return, they will have to live with the load of the interrupted semester for long. Being home is different this time anyway, with all that may be going on in their locality. Let me narrate a small personal story. I caught jaundice in my third year of IIT Kharagpur and returned home to Kerala, enduring a 3 night train journey. At home, the thought of missing weeks of classes and exams tormented me more than jaundice. I remember vividly the extreme relief that I received when a friend's letter came 10 days later that said that classes were suspended till the puja break due to a possible Japanese encephalitis outbreak near Kharagpur. How can we free the 1500 plus students of IIIT Hyderabad from the torment of the spring semester just as luck gave me the relief then? Online examinations is an option to conclude the semester. I see many institutions considering them now. Several tools are available to conduct online proctored exams. However, the usual 3 hour final exams are highly stressful even in the best of times. Writing them from home under highly uncertain conditions will be a big torture for many. Can't we free our students from that too? Extraordinary times demand extraordinary solutions. IIIT is here to go beyond the easy and the safe steps. Creating competent, creative, and caring students is a declared mission of the Institute. Here is an opportunity for the Institute to display its own competence, creativity, and caring. What creative and caring solutions are possible in this situation? The fantastic team led by the Dean of Academics suggested a few ideas. Those were discussed, debated, and modified over several days at multiple forums, including the full faculty or the Senate. Two guiding principles emerged. One, keep the fundamental objectives of education firmly in mind. And two, be compassionate and generous and not make it any worse for the students. The fundamental objective of a course is to lead the students to the subject gently in a way that seeds interest in her. Today's education system seems to have shifted its focus fully to evaluation and grading. We need to break away from that thinking, at least for this semester. Let us devise a good solution without worrying about every possible loophole. Let us concentrate on the positives and not on the negatives. The guiding principles led to a plan to conclude the semester fairly. We abolished final exams and shifted its weightage to more flexible and less stressful components like assignments, quizzes, etc. We eliminated the F grade. The fail grade hurts the eyes and it hurts the soul for years. We replaced it with a W grade or withdraw, which necessitates the credits to be earned again. We also reduced final differentiations in grades and urged the faculty members to push the grades up when in doubt. Additionally, we provided the students with an option to choose a P or pass grade instead of the awarded ABC letter grades after the grades are announced. This is a bold and perhaps unprecedented step. P grades satisfy curricular requirements but don't affect the grade point average. GPA is something that the students can't stop worrying about, perhaps in the belief that their potential employees care for it. Besides this, we made a firm promise that every single student will be handled properly, whatever their difficulties. About 5 to 6% of our students had moderate to high difficulty on being online. Alternate evaluation schemes were made available to those. We also had students with COVID positive cases in the family. They will be evaluated later when they are safe and ready. Flexibility in evaluation is absolutely essential for a high quality institution that handles real humans and real situations. Today, I am pleased to report that the spring 2020 semester has concluded successfully at IIIT Hyderabad. The grades are in. Our students have started online internships with a lighter mindset than their peers. Our graduates are ready to join the jobs as per original schedule. I'm sure most employees will appreciate this. An interrupted world is an uncertain one for companies as well. The resilience of IIIT is due to the fabulous team of faculty and others. Not to forget the fantastic set of students we have. Our students are always eager to analyze and criticize all aspects of the institute. In fact, they had performed an independent analysis of the possibilities for this semester by themselves. They were most enthusiastic and cooperative with the measures we adopted. I get to stand here and talk about the collective achievements of IIIT as its director in this forum. My actual role was mostly to not come in the way of good ideas and good people, and perhaps to nudge the reluctant skeptics gently when necessary. What can we learn from this? Can steps taken by IIIT Hyderabad work for all other institutions? Most probably not. We are a small institution with a homogeneous set of programs. However, we can find homogeneous subsets within large institutions if we try hard. It is important to enable these subsets to do what works for them. Unfortunately, higher education is very centralized in India. Chances of finding a common solution that works well are minuscule for large institutions. The two principles we identified can surely guide other institutions. Focus on the fundamental learning objectives and not on testing and grading. Institutions have to fight their inner demons first in most cases. If every potential wrongdoing of the students and every fanciful and odd situation have to be avoided by design upfront, the institution will get nowhere. We have to focus on the majority positive aspects and not spend all our energy on the possible negatives. Let us be happy if serious students get their rightful due, even if a few unfair ones get a better grade. The unfair ones are the cheating themselves and the society that places trust on them. They should not be allowed to inconvenience the entire system. Institutions of higher education, the residential ones in particular, will be impacted disproportionately by the COVID pandemic. Our classrooms and hostels are rightly designed to promote rich personal interactions and peer learning. They will fare poorly in social distancing. We need innovative ideas to tide over the difficulties that may last for at least a year, perhaps. Effective online education will be a major part of the solution. Greater autonomy to smaller units within the system, within the academic system, will also help greatly. I urge the academic leaders and administrators to act fast and decisively to tide over these times. I want to end with a message on the easy measures to beat the coronavirus. A. Keep safe distances. B. Wash your hands frequently. And C. Wear a mask when others could be around. The mask is perhaps the least liked measures of the three. Let me reiterate something I read recently. Wearing a mask sends a signal that you want to be a part of the solution to the pandemic. So, why don't we wear masks and signal our resilience? Stay safe and stay strong. And thank you all for listening.